Not every idea deserves a camera. Some deserve more time, and some deserve to be left alone. Some stories ask for more than just a camera. They ask for time, they ask for energy, they ask for money, and they also ask for a lot of emotional space. And some stories, they take years to develop and finish. So this is how I decide which ones I follow. The first thing I look for is curiosity. I need to genuinely care about the story. Either the subject resonates with me personally, or it's something I'm deeply curious about, or it's an area where I've already have some lived experience. If none of that is there, I know that the subject won't live through the difficult moments.
هما نهار اللي وقعت الحادثة الذري نحوا في الحطب، ولدينا الأول نحوا الحطب على الزايلة حشاك، وقالوا له باش تهزوا عليها طفل المعاكم عقبة الله يرحمه. ياك ها نحوا على الحطب وهزوا، قلت له شنتي وسايبوا. من نهارتها ما رجعوش ذري الحطب وما رجعوش للحلف. تو انا جبتكم لهنا وين نشربوا الماء، نحن يجيبون اصحاب الدكتورات من بعيد. قال واحد يجيب لك يقول لك 30 دينار يصب لك 60 رمال، ويبدو يعبي يسطل. لا ما فيهش هذه زاد، حتى هو يعبي الماء في الكاع. ريتنا احنا هذه كيفاش نشربوا من المواجهة، باش ما تقولوش نحن رانا باش نشرب منه. هذه عشتنا كيفاش، ما عندناش منين، ما عندناش. هذه سبالتنا نحن، لا عندناش منين نشرب، وكان كله العرش كامل ما ثماش حتى واحد عنده سبالة. وصلنا في مات منين مات ولد خويا المواطن، يجيه الارهابي يجبد عليه السلاح، يقول له ابعد من هنا ولا نصور عليك. يبعد عليه من هنا قد 100 متر، ويجي يبدا يخزر ليه وينحي الحلفة وينحي الحطب باش يعيش يسخر. والله العظيم كما هكا نحكي.
You know, some stories came from my own background, you know, others from questions I couldn't stop thinking about, others from situations I was, you know, already close to. Or sometimes, I mean, I have no experience in the theme or the subject. I have absolutely no relation, but I was deeply curious, you know. For example, one of the older stories that I worked on about some young biologists who were chasing this animal that was never seen nor documented in the country since the 80s. I mean, I had no like connection with ecology work or environmental work or stuff, or I don't even have experience in that area. But I was really curious about this group of young people. These were like a group of friends. All of them, they have either like master's degree or PhDs in ecological studies, and they were chasing this animal and they were doing this vast work on documenting species, different species, insects and animals and plants and snakes and all of those things. So I was very curious about that group of people and what make them, do whatever they're doing. I think if you find yourself working on documentaries, is because usually like you are very interested in learning what makes people do what they do. I mean, that's like the biggest question that most of us, usually think of. Sometimes you see people doing stuff, or sometimes you meet someone like a boxer, for example. Like, what makes you do whatever you're doing? Like, you're subjecting yourself to be killed, in the ring, but yeah, you still find the strength and the motivation to do it. So always leading by curiosity, because when you are obsessively curious about something, you'll become super interested in that, which in turn will make you very interesting to talk to. When I look for a character, like a person, or sometimes even like it's a place that embodies a certain idea, uh, it doesn't have to be like interesting on paper, but it has to be like someone I genuinely want to spend time with, like someone I really want to have like a conversation with. So if I can't imagine having, real conversations with these potential characters, the story usually, stays flat. And at some point, something strange really happens. Like I start seeing the film in my head. Not the whole film, like super edited and stuff, but like fragments of the film, like moments or the emotions you want to convey. And if I can't see anything, even vaguely, I slow down. I mean, I know like the connection with the story is not happening yet. I hope this doesn't make me sound too weird, but usually like the part where most people skip is that before starting, like, accept the consequences, because each story will require you to invest a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of you will be tanking into your emotional reserve, into your bank account, and into your time as well. And time is like the most precious thing that we have. Like in our lifetime, we'll be lucky to have worked on 5 great documentaries, for example. So being very picky, or taking your time to find the story that you really want to be invested in, is like a huge step to consider. And you have to be accepting of the consequences that can fall with that. Is that things can go wrong, things can take more time that you wanted, things can require additional funding, you will be tapping into your personal financial reserves. Like for me, like I always finance the stuff that I'm working on, and sometimes that can get very maybe annoying to the people who live with you. Maybe sometimes you will have the thoughts like, was this really worth it or not? So if you're not convinced from the get-go that that deserves your personal investment, when things take a terrible turn, you will be quitting. So, and you don't really want that. There's one more thing that I look for. The story has to challenge me in a way. Maybe I try a new way of filming, a new visual language, a new way to tell a story. If I'm too comfortable, I know I won't be growing. So it has to it has to be challenging in some areas, and I have to be really interested in, going through that challenge in order, to better myself as a visual storyteller. So before, starting a documentary, like, I quietly ask myself the following questions, like, am I genuinely curious about this? Is there a character I want to follow? Is this a journey I'm willing to live? Will it challenge me? Can others relate to it? And can it inspire or entertain without forcing it? If the answer is yes to most of these questions, then I definitely begin the story, And I'm doing this video because yeah, I'm having some difficulties with the story that I'm working on right now, and I thought it would be perhaps a positive distraction to think about other stories while this one starts to solve itself a little bit. So I said, okay, let me. It will be a good opportunity to share these points with people on YouTube, and perhaps I can get your ideas in on your thought process on how do you find stories, or where do you find it difficult to find and commit to stories. So I've learned that the hardest part about making a documentary isn't really the filming part. It's deciding whether the story deserves your time before it gives you anything back. Most stories don't fail because they're badly shot. They fail because we weren't ready to live with them, long enough. Not every idea deserves a camera. Some deserve more time, and some deserve to be left alone.
أولاد البريك دانس تغارموا يعني، وهي البريك دانس في حد ذاته سبور جا، ولا سبور أولمبيك من الألعاب الأولمبية القادمة في بالي البريك دانس باش يولي رياضة أولمبية. حبيتهم يعملوا حاجة تيبيك تكون فيها الروح متاعهم هكاك، حتى في الماركتينج، حتى لترويجها. مهم انك تكون مختلف، مش كلنا نشطحوا في نفس الحكايه ونفس التابلو. دونك من نولي تجيب جروب اقرب لي وكا كانك خذيت حكي سردين وتاخذها من اقرب حانوت، وليش تركب لها 150 كيلومتر. كي اقترحت عليهم انهم يحاولوا يقربوا للايقاعات نتاعهم، وجات فكره البريك جالي اللي هي من بريك دانس وايقاع الحجالي على الطبال. اعطت فكره بريك جالي، بريك سوفاج. ولاد البريك دانس توا في معناها ils sont en train de sculpter un style. اقتنعوا باللي يلزمهم يعملوا حاجة تشبه لهم، باهي انك تكون منفتح على ثقافة الآخر ونقربوا للريغي ولا الجاز والهيب هوب وراب وكل شيء، ما يلزمني ثاني اللون متاعك ما يضيع شوي هذا الكل. لازم تعطيه الشطر ولا أكثر من الروح متاعك، من الوشمة متاعك. هذا هو اللي قاعدين نخدم فيه معاه.